What is up, guys? Welcome back to another video. So today is the last review for Godzilla month. I know, it's sad. It's very, very sad. Honestly, I really have been enjoying this month a lot with just looking at a bunch of Godzilla figures with you guys. I'm very happy with some of the customs that I've done, including this bad boy right here that we took a look at. And it's been fun to mess with these figures. So, with this being the last one, I thought we could go out with something a little cool. And it didn't show up, sadly. But I tried my best to find something. And eventually, I stumbled across this at my local toy store. Not really local, it was like an hour drive. But this is what I found. It's not really Godzilla, but it's Godzilla related. And this is the Hiya Toys King of the Monster Rodan figure from Godzilla King of the Monsters. I've been wanting this figure for a little bit, and I didn't know if I actually wanted it, because I knew I wanted a Godzilla. I knew I kind of wanted to replace my Kong from the SH Monster Arts. And, of course, I have a whole lot of pre-orders for the new Godzilla X Kong, plus the Mutos, and, yeah, that's pretty much all I got. And I was really debating whether I should get Mothra, King Ghidorah, maybe Kong too, or a Rodan figure. And since I have this figure, I'm going to try my best to get the Mothra as well. And then maybe eventually I'll get that King Ghidorah. We shall see. But with this guy, I'm very excited to get into this. I've always wanted the NECA version, but I could never find the NECA version. And when I actually did find it, it was very expensive, so I couldn't get it. Then I wanted the SH Monster Arts one, which I tried my best to get, but that's also very expensive. Even though it does come with two figures, SH Monster Arts is just like, they're way too expensive for me. So this at a low price of 50 bucks. So much better than like the 130 SH Monster Arts was asking for. I was very excited to get this. I already watched a couple reviews on this. I'm super excited to get into this. I'm so thrilled. So we're going to do a little bit of an unboxing and check this figure out. So slamming the box down, the box art looks great. I absolutely love this box art. You got the big Hiya Toys Rodan here, and then the giant poster in the background. I absolutely love this shot. It's pretty cool looking. I actually really do like it. You get the Hiya Toys logo right down here. King of the Monsters. A couple things you can do with the figure, some warning stuff, and Rodan right there. I got this thing for 50 bucks. If you can kind of see that, barely. You can barely see that. 50 bucks. Not a bad deal at all. King of the Monsters there. Some more stuff on the side. King of the Monsters there. On the back, it's very plain on the back, but, I mean, it looks fine to me. So, opening this thing up, this is the first time I've opened this thing, so we're going to slide this guy right on out of here for the first time. So, let's get this guy. Ooh, that's nice. That is nice looking. That's pretty much everything in the box. So, he does come in this little tray. Very, very nice. I like that. And let's try and get this little dude out of here. Hopefully there's no tape on this stupid thing. I don't have a knife. And we're getting somewhere. Ah, there is tape. Look at that. But no match. No match for me. Where's the other piece of tape? It feels like, oh, that was the only one. So there is that. So here's the figure. First time in hand. This is my first ever Hiya Toys figure. So let's see what he's like. Okay. First impressions. I'm liking it. I'm liking it so far. It's not too bad. I really do like the paint job on this thing. It's very, very nice. So there is that. It's going to be kind of fun to mess around with him just a little bit. So we'll put him off camera. He does come with a bunch of little accessories. Let's see. Let's try to grab this thing out. Of course, he comes with these little tabs right here. Usually the Hiya Toys figures come with those. He does have a stand right here as well, if we can get that out. Very nice looking stand. Very, very cool. There's another stand here, a little clip right here. And then he's got himself, if I can even get this out, an actual clear stand. So I think that's pretty cool. So that is very, very nice. So that's pretty cool. So there is all the stuff that he comes with. Let's get back to the bedroom and take a look at this a little further. So the first thing I kind of want to talk about is this little rinky-dink display stand. This is the display stand he comes with, and it's pretty interesting. It's not my favorite, but it's definitely an interesting display stand. So first of all, of course, you get these little things. Of course, almost every single Hiya Toys figure comes with these little things, and they basically are supposed to go at these little ridges at the bottom of the stand, and you slide those in, and if they make more figures, you can connect them together, so you can just make a display stand bigger with other figures' display stands. Sadly, they don't know how to even work these because they fall off easily. I assume that might be the point, but I would rather have it, just kind of right in, but they're very loose. And there's some figures that I have from Hiya Toys where these little things, they go in pretty nice and smooth, or they're super tight, or they're stupidly loose like that. So, they just can't make up their mind sometimes. So anyways, we have this little display stand here, which is connected by this little bottom piece right here, which that can go into any one of these slots here of any one of these little 9 holes. So you pretty much just slide that into there, and you come with a nice array of little pieces. So you have 1, 2, and 3 little rod pieces. All of them are on hinge joints, and they can swivel pretty much just like that. And it's pretty interesting on how these work. And the little clamp that you get is this one, which is very odd because on the packaging, which honestly, I don't even know if a lot of people got this, but if we kind of take a look at the packaging right here, I don't know if you can see it too well, but that doesn't really look like the hook hand, does it not? It looks more like a cradle, and you could probably think that's a little bit different. I'm just kind of looking at this little extra piece right here, which you can kind of just, say that it's not it. But if we take a look down here, this is obviously a cradle piece. This is not a clamp. So why do you have a clamp piece if you don't come with that piece? And it's the same on the other side too. Oh my gosh, my display fell down. Same on the other side too. It's a clamp. It's like a cradle piece. It's not a waist clamp. So I just thought that was weird. So I don't know, maybe it could have been better to hold the figure up, but I don't know. So when you do put the figure on the stand, I would advise maybe using 2 or maybe even 1, because this is not the sturdiest stand at all. This thing wobbles a lot when you have the figure on there. So that's my biggest complaint. This stand barely even works. So I think the best thing to do is use one of these. And I'll show you guys a little bit more in depth, but I'm just kind of getting the stand out of the way real quick. So there's all the little pieces. Let's get on to Rodan. So here is the Rodan figure on his little display stand. And I gotta say, this figure looks so cool looking. Like, this is a very nice looking figure. He is really neat on this stand. It's just the fact that he's very wobbly. And again, that just is probably might be because of that. But if we do take him on a flat surface, it just seems very wobbly for some reason. But getting them on the stand is not really too hard. You just pretty much got to clamp it on like this. But you really do have to implement these bends, because if you kind of have it just kind of straight up, of course you're not going to do it. If you kind of have it straight up, these kind of fall down a lot. And it was doing it a lot when I was first doing it. If you have all 3 of them on, you really need to add these bends in, because the thing's gonna fall over a lot. If you have, pretty much the best way to put this thing is in the middle. I think that's the only real way to do it. If you have it on the back here, this whole like front side like moves forward, and if you have it like on the front, back side moves back, so just in the middle, so you have all this extra holes for no reason. I feel like they could have just done a little bit better with this display stand. And yeah, I think that's pretty much all I got to say with that. But this is a very, very cool figure. And of course, we'll be getting some up close shots. But taking a look at full body and the sculpt work itself, I think it looks super, super cool. I think they did a fantastic job with the way this figure looks. I really do like the paint. It could have been maybe a tad bit better. I did see that there was the NECA version. The NECA version looks really cool. It is very, I guess, ashy, and it's not supposed to look that burnt, I guess, but I really do like these bottom parts of the wings, and hopefully I have a picture showing you guys what that looks like. But it looks very nice, but even then, I think this figure does still look very nice. I think it could have just used a little bit of paint work, but I could probably just do that myself. Maybe a little less orange, maybe some more reds thrown in there, maybe a little yellow. I think that would have worked out very nicely. But you could see that there is so much detail added to this figure, and it's very, very nice, especially on the back area too. I think that looks super, super cool. The face area is probably my favorite part. So trying to get as close as we can here without destroying anything, I guess. You can see that the face looks very cool. I really do like the face. I think the eyes are probably the weakest part. They do have that little white speck there, but that's just because of the light. They're just plain orange, which is fine, but I would rather have another color, I guess. Maybe I'll do something with it, maybe, because they're not as glossy. That's probably the best way to show it. It's not really glossy. It's just kind of matte. So, I mean, maybe you could count that as like, you know, maybe he just came out of the lava. So he wouldn't have glossy eyes and he's all dried up, I guess. I don't know. But it's not bad. I really do like them. I do like how the eyes are painted. I do not have any wonky eyes, which I really do like. So I think that's pretty cool. He has a very nice sculpting at the head. I love all the sculpting all around him. I think they did a phenomenal job with that. Probably turning on the light might be a tad bit better. Yeah, just a little bit. But you can kind of see a little bit more of the paint there with this bright ass light on his face. He does have a nice nice tongue here, which is a very nice color. I really do like the inside of the mouth. Sometimes they make tongues a little too pink on some characters, and I think they did a very nice job with that. But you can see a lot more of the detailing on the body, and it just looks so cool, especially on the feet as well. And on these wings, it's just so like lava-y, so I think that's really cool. I think the only thing that's kind of ugly is maybe this little logo right here, but it's very hard to see, so you can't really see it unless you point it out like I just did. But you can see from afar, it's very, very hard to actually see. But yeah, this thing just looks so cool. I really, really do like how this thing came to be. They did a pretty good job with them. But yeah, I think it's really cool. So, you know, the painting is very, very decent. I really do like the painting. Just a couple things here and there that they could have done. The sculpting work is phenomenal. So how is the posability for this little guy? Well, he's got some pretty interesting ones. So starting off with the head, of course, he does have a ball joint at the head. He has 3 segments of ball joints. He has one at the base of the neck, one in the middle, and one right here at the top as well. So he can get some pretty decent poses, especially some good side to side, which I really do like. He can look down about, it's not really far at all. I don't know where I'm going right now. It pretty much goes down to about there. It's not that far, but he can look up very far, so he can get some pretty intense flying poses. He does have a nice wide jaw, which I think is really, really cool. If I remember, the SH Monster Arts one didn't really have that much of a jaw posability. It was pretty much about to there, I think. So just having that extra length is just awesome, makes him look more threatening. He does have a swivel at the waist here, which can go back about that far, crunch that far. I wish the crunch was a little deeper, but hey, whatever. But he's got some side to side there. He's got some leg movement, which the legs can pretty much go full 360 if you wanted it to, but you can just swivel that and a little bit of in and out. He does have a hinge joint right here at the knee, which can go up that far, if you can kind of get that foot out of the way, up that far and down that far, if you guys can see that. And of course it can swivel. There is a hinge joint at the foot area right here, so he can go out, in, and it also is a swivel as well. He also has a little tail movement, so he's got a little one which can pretty much go all the way around, which I think is very nice. And that's pretty much all of his posability on the body part. Now, moving on to the wings. The wings are probably the most interesting part about this figure. So they are on like this ball joint, so he can pretty much, you know, go down that far, up that far, and he's got some swivelage here, which is not bad. There's just like no range at all when he's trying to like do like a pose where he's just like, you know, flapping his wings or something. But if you want to go deeper with the poses, that's where the included bendy wire at the wing comes in. So you can see these little holes, just kind of letting the plastic breathe, or I guess usually when you know bending wires involved, you get these little holes on the figure. And it pretty much starts, I think it's somewhere around here, and it goes all the way to the end. So he's got some pretty decent range. So we're gonna bend it right now, and hopefully everything goes to plan. We're going to get some nice bendage at the arm. And here we is. Boom. He's got a nice bend. I really love the included bendy wire. It's not something you see with figures every day. So I think that is so cool. Now there is a little problem with it, and I've seen a couple reviews, one of them just being I think it's Hiya Toys reviews. I watch him a couple times. There's like a little piece of like junk right there. That's what I'm trying to do. But I watched his video, and his bendy wire broke while he was doing his review, which sucks. So I would suggest just being careful when you use the bendy wire. Just be as gentle, but you know, as easy as you can get it. I think it's still a really cool gimmick. It doesn't feel like it's gonna break, but you never know with these figures, and hopefully in due time it does hold up over time, and you could just get so much posability with this thing. And of course you can probably do that iconic spin that he does in midair where he has that like nice S pose. I think that's really dope. It's so cool looking. I definitely want to have him displayed like this because it just looks so cool. But yeah, the bendy wire is just such an interesting thing. Hiya Toys is doing some very interesting things with their figures, and it's just so cool. So that's pretty much all I have to say about this figure. In terms of posability, it's great. In terms of like the sculpting, the painting is awesome. The bendy wire is probably a little scary for some people, but hey, it works. It feels nice. Nothing's broken yet. Hopefully it will stay that way for a long time. I think just my biggest complaint is this stand. It just doesn't feel like it's going to stay at all, especially with the waist clamp too. It just doesn't feel like it's that sturdy. But it's mainly just the little rods that it comes with. But other than that, this figure is really cool. So this is my only other King of the Monsters figure, but this is not Hiya Toys. This is SH Monster Arts, and they look really cool together. I actually really do like both of these guys together. I don't really have any other SH Monster Arts, except for the Mecha Godzilla. That's pretty much the only one I have, but he looks really cool. Displaying him is going to be fun. I'm going to try and use the stand to get him into some pretty decent poses. Also, if you happen to come across like accidentally popping the arm joint off when you're trying to bend it, don't worry, it's just a simple ball joint. It easily just pops right back in there. You just got to find it and just pop that right back in. So it's no biggie. So yeah, getting them into poses with the stand is pretty easy. I really want to display him like this because it just looks so cool. getting him in that weird spin. But I know just over time, this is just going to fall. But yeah, I wish these were ratchet joints, like just a little ratchet joints. You know how like McFarlane does their display stands, even though they're not great either. Just something like that would have been really cool. I think that would have been just better if they would have did a nice ratchet joint instead of, you know, just these little hinge joints. But he still looks really cool. I think just like the only challenge is trying to pose him. So I'll probably do him something very simple to where he's not falling from the stand. I'm probably going to use the stand, but I'm not using all of these little connector pieces. I'm probably just going to use the one and just work with it like that. So that's pretty much it for this video. I really don't have much else to say. This figure is a lot of fun. The stand, again, is not exactly my favorite, but I think it's still really cool. I think this might be the best way to pose him. I think the ab crunch should have been just a little deeper, and I feel like the head as well could have been deeper, but other than that, I think that this is a really fun figure. I think you can have a lot of enjoyment with this figure. It's so much fun. He looks pretty good next to the other Godzilla figures, especially if you do have a Godzilla, so you can kind of have them like fighting and stuff. I think that's really, really cool. This is my first ever Hiya Toys figure. I've only kind of collected the SH Monster Arts, and once Hiya Toys started getting into the game, I started kind of selling off my SH Monster Arts, except for my Godzilla here, and of course my SH Monster Arts Mecha Godzilla. Those are the only two I've kept. But yeah, this is my first ever Hiya Toys, and I'm pretty much a big fan now. I really do like this figure. Again, if they fix the stand, that would have been really cool, and maybe just do a little bit better on the posability, mainly just on the head to make it go a little deeper, and the waist to go a little deeper as well. Those are my only two major complaints with the actual figure itself, and not complaining about the stand so much. So that's pretty much all I have to say. This figure's awesome. I love the bendy wire at the arms. I hope they hold up over time, but it feels like they will. It's such a nice little release, and I'm very happy that I was able to find it. I really do want to get the other ones now, because I do want to get the Mothra now, and I would like to get the King Ghidorah. So Hiya Toys, you did pretty good. I really do like your Predators. I liked your little Leatherface, and I'm pretty excited for the 2003 one to come in the mail. And when it comes to your Godzilla figures, at least for one, I really do like it. So I'd say good job on you, Hiya Toys. I will be returning for some more figures. And yeah, this is still a fun one. I really do like this figure, and he fits in well with the other Godzilla figures. Now, I have so much fun with this little guy right here. He is really cool looking, and I am so happy that I picked him up. Again, Rodan is a figure that I've been wanting for a while, and I've just been having so much fun with it. I love these bendy wires. Again, they're a little scary to mess with, so again, be careful with them. But they're so cool. They bring so much character to this thing, and it's just so much fun. So, getting on to our little scoring system right here. It looks like a Dorito. It's like, I don't know. This figure is awesome. Going on to our rating system, which I do have my little booklet right here just to kind of help me out, I guess. But in terms of like painting, the painting is actually really good. I think that the NECA version has a little bit of something like a flair to it, because I actually really do like the corners of the wings that the NECA one does. It does look very, I guess, very burnt, you know. I think this one does that very well. And I think this one just it works. It works a lot better. But I feel like the paint could have been a little better, but I feel like it's something that I can do easily, so I'm not going to worry about that one too much. In terms of sculpting, I think the sculpt work is beautifully done. The texturing is so good. I absolutely love it. And just overall, it's very nice. And including the head too. I love how the head sculpt looks. In terms of accuracy, I mean, it's not 100% accurate, but honestly, it's pretty close. I actually really do like the way it looks. The head part, again, was something that I was worried about, but it looks great, and that's pretty much all I gotta say. This figure looks great. In terms of the quality of the figure, I think it's a pretty good high quality figure. It's very nice. Nothing feels like it's gonna break. In terms of the wings, I think they might be a little scary, but other than that, it's not bad. But yeah, the figure is really fun, except not really except the wings. The wings are awesome, but the wings are just a little scary. So there's a couple point docks from that. So overall, I really do love this thing. I think my biggest complaint about this figure is this little rinky-dink stand. I think they could have done so much better, but in terms of the actual figure, it's so much fun. So I think that I am giving this figure a 4.7 out of 10, or not out of 10, a 4.7 out of 5. It's so close to being perfect, but there's just a couple things that I think they could have done a little better. But other than that, that's pretty much it. So guys, thank you so much for making just this so much fun. I've had a lot of fun during this month doing a bunch of these Godzilla figures, and it's just been a blast. So I want to thank you guys so much for all the support and just the engagement that you guys have been doing on some of the videos. It's so much fun to see your guys' comments and stuff. I'm trying to get on the stand. There we go. Hey, these guys are so much fun. So that is pretty much the last review of this month. That is the last Godzilla video I am doing for a while. It's probably going to be till the next whatever figure comes out next. But yeah, that's the end of Godzilla month. There might be one more vlog, and of course we do our end of the month vlog, and I'm hopefully this one won't be late this time. So what is the next video going to be? Well, we have ourselves a couple little figures right here, if you can kind of see them. We're taking a look. We're going back in the past for these ones. We're looking at 3 different types of figures, and all of these come from Pirates of the Caribbean. Oh my gosh, this is going to be an interesting review. So hopefully you guys are a little interested in this one. But yeah, these are from 2011. That does not feel like 2011. But anyways, it's going to be so much fun. We have 3 figures we're going to be taking a look at. I cannot wait to open these guys up. It's been a long time since I've seen these figures in person. I did have these figures before, so it's nice to have them again. And I don't know where I'm going to put them, but I have them. It's going to be so much fun. So yeah, I hope to see you guys next Monday for another review. And yeah, I'll see you guys in more Godzilla reviews in the future. But that's pretty much it. I'll see you guys in the next one.